Hi, I'm Megan, I make stained glass, and today I'm going to show you how to put hobby came around the edge of your pieces to make them look nice and polished and even all the way around. So let's go. Hobby came can come in a roll, or I buy mine in 6-foot strips. I just find it convenient to do it that way, and I never really know how much I'm going to use. And so what it looks like, this is the side that you would see on the edge, and then the other side there is a little channel where the edge of the glass fits into. So this is the piece I am going to be putting it on today, and hopefully you can see this. This will just fit right into the edge, and we're gonna solder it at all of the joints. First, we are gonna start by stretching it because it's just a little wonky looking. We want it to be really nice and straight so there's no bumps. And so you just take one end with any pair of pliers, really grab the other end also with pliers. And you just wanna pull really tight. It's going to stretch it and it's going to smooth out any bumps. You could also put one end in a vise if you have it, or have someone hold it and each of you pull. And so now you can see this is looking a lot straighter and it kind of holds its shape more. So as you can see here, the pliers kind of ruined the end a bit, so we are just going to snip that end off. Then you want to decide where you want to start your cane. I often like to start it somewhere kind of central, but where there's a joint. So here, I don't really have anywhere like that. If there was a joint right here or right here, that's where I will start it. But I think I will start it somewhere at the bottom, maybe right here or right here. I'm just taking a little bit of flux and I'm applying it on, and I'm putting some on the hobby cane as well. I'm putting gloves on now just so that my skin doesn't touch the flux. And so I take the edge and I'm gonna put it into the channel, and I want it to be just about centered there because when this wraps all the way around, I need somewhere to solder it onto. Fitting it into here. I'm making sure it's nice and snug. And then I am just going to take a little bit of solder and attach it there. I'm then going to turn it over, add a little bit more flux. Same thing. Now here something has happened that I don't want to happen. Some solder got onto the edge. That's going to be an issue when we bring this back around, because how is it going to fit tightly? So I am just going to take my soldering iron and hold this like that and melt it off. And then it just kind of falls onto the table. And now I'm just going to pull this tight. And wrap it around. I like to kind of wrap it as I'm going. And then we're gonna solder here and solder here. Don't worry about things not looking perfect. Right now I'm just focusing on adding the cane. Then I'm gonna come back after and fix my solder lines. And here is just the close-up so you can see a little bit better what is happening right at the edge there. We're back around where we're gonna be joining it. So I am going to hold it where I think I need to cut and just do a little snip. Better to have it longer than shorter, obviously, because you can't add more on, really. I mean, you can technically, but it wouldn't look great. So I'm just continuing to snip until it looks good. So that's a little bit short, but it's okay because we're gonna get some solder in there. So again, we have a little bit of flux. Now I am going to take my fid, you can take any tool really, and I'm just going to push here to make the edges really kind of tuck in. I'm holding pressure along here, grabbing some solder and putting it on there. Going to turn it over. Grab a little more solder, place it on. And so now we need to fill in this edge. What we want to do, again, taking a little bit of flux and a little bit of solder, just taking a very tiny amount, a little bead. And I'm going to hold this as level as possible and just drop it on. And then I'm just gently touching it a few times to smooth it out. This is the final piece. You can see here that the hobby came isn't quite as shiny as the rest of it, but that's just kind of the way it goes. There is where we joined it, and I think she's looking really nice. I also added some hooks onto the back, and she is ready to be polished and hung in a window. If you have any questions, let me know.